see spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Get yourself a serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese.
Well, what do we have here? The long-awaited, big, fat, juicy helping of spaghetti and meatballs with myself, Trevin, and my good buddy, Johnsy. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Good. It's been a while. Feels good to be back.
Well, we just kind of talked about our issues we had with CHSN, and we're working through some things. We talked to our guys.
Yes, this past season, you'll have to accept our apology for not having as much content. But when you can't watch it, nobody wants to listen to us babble about what we've read and this and that. So,
and I do want to comment. This has nothing to do with Chuck and Bill. Because they do as good a job as anybody on the airwaves.
Absolutely. If I'm in the car and the game's on, I'm listening to them.
Yeah,
it makes it hard. I'm a visual guy, John. I
gotta
see the product.
You went to that quinceanera with Chuck a couple weeks ago, so I thought you guys you cleared the air a little bit.
We did. The guy can salsa. Let me just tell you that. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about it.
That does not shock me. Does not shock me.
No, and it shouldn't.
You want to tell the listeners what we're going to do today?
Yeah, so we got something a little bit different. So I don't know exactly when the draft is or how many days away, but it's 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away, maybe
2-3 weeks. Yep.
So we're going to go through a little first round mock draft here. We're going to take it one pick at a time, rock, paper, scissors, obviously, to decide who gets to go first. And then when we get to the Bulls pick, perhaps we will each give a pick, depending on who's available or who's there. It could be the same guy. Who knows? We haven't really discussed, so this could be interesting. So
before we get into that,
yes.
We used to do our shout out segment, and this isn't necessarily a shout out. This is just a question more for you.
Okay.
I was outside in my neighborhood the other day. My neighbor, Joe Cook, I don't know if you know him. We were just talking a little bit. This is about a week ago, talking a little bit NBA action, and he said, "Hey, I'd be interested to hear the Meatbulls take because this is when it was still Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks versus Pacers. Who do you guys hate more? We always had a beef with the Pacers." And he said, "Who do you hate more?" Because growing up in the 90s, watching the Bulls, everyone hated the Knicks, but then, the Pacers. And it was like, okay. And I gave him my take, and I'm interested in yours. I said, I hate the freaking Pacers. And only because I'm still a fan of Tibbs. I probably will always be a fan of Tibbs. Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Chicago connection, Bulls connection. I'm saying in that situation, I was a Knicks fan.
The Tibbs factor definitely tilted it in that way, because I agree with you. Growing up in the 90s, there was not. I'm too young to remember the Pistons Bulls going at it all the time. But during our heyday, it was either the Pacers or the Knicks that we were playing in the Eastern Conference Finals. So tough to say which one. I kind of like the Indiana factor just from the smaller market kind of issue, but I was definitely going New York just because of Tibbs.
Yep, I'm with you. And he was just curious, and I was like, that's a good question for the Meatballs.
They did him wrong.
They did him dirty.
That's bad.
Who are you bringing? And to me, that means you have somebody on the back burner that you feel you're ready to bring. Like, I don't like that.
I don't know. I mean, the guy gets you to the first conference finals in 20 plus years, and
yeah,
I don't know. What can
Whatever. Not our problem.
you do? Yeah, you're right. We got bigger fish to fry over here.
Bigger fish to fry.
Ooh, baby. So
okay. You ready to do this? See, okay, on my screen you're very large, so I can see. Are you good right here? No, you're good. Are you good right here? Can you see?
Yep. Good. One, two. Oh,
three.
Wait. Sorry. I'll follow you.
1, 2, 3. Shoot. 1, 2, 3. Shoot. Ah!
What do you got? Scissors? Okay, yeah. All right, so that's one for me.
1, 2, 3. Shoot. 1, 2, 3. Shoot.
Oh, all right.
And for those just listening and not watching us on air, we just did a little rock, paper, scissors to determine first pick.
Yes,
so
yes.
If you just heard grunting noises, that was nothing.
Thank you for explaining that.
Disregard.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here, so hopefully everyone would be able to see this. But if nobody else can, at least you can see it, right, John?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So I will go ahead and get things kicked off here with the most obvious pick here of the draft. I'm not going to overthink this. We're going to go ahead and put Cooper Flagg with the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, yeah, that was an obvious one. I don't want to say I'm like struggling with this pick, but here's my thing. Is I feel like you have De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
You have, Castle.
Mm-hmm.
I feel Dylan Harper's the better play, but I'm telling you, for me right now, I'm taking Ace Bailey. I think Ace Bailey's going to be a stud.
I've been a big Ace Bailey fan, and I'm not exactly sure why he is. I've seen some mocks where he's gone like 7 or 8.
Yeah, like 5th, 6th. Yes.
I don't get what he's done to fall that far, but I have no problem with this. That's probably where I would have gone too.
And I just want to say, this is what I would do. This is not. I do think come draft night, Dylan Harper goes too.
Yes.
I'm just saying this is what I would do.
Yes. Well, and that's a good point to bring that up. This is what we would do. This isn't necessarily okay. We think this is who they will pick, or this is if we were in those team shoes, who would we take in that position? So, all right. So, kind of the same thinking though with the 76ers. With what's his name? Why can't I? Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, you got Maxey there. You got
But I don't see Harper not getting picked there.
No, I think he's.
We're going to go ahead and pencil Dylan Harper in there at number 3.
Okay. Now
this is an interesting draft because you kind of have these top 3, and I see a lot of people put in Edgecombe from Vanderbilt as well. But the mix between 5 and 15 is kind of all over the place.
Right. And here's what I say too. It is not a knock against Edgecombe. He could be the second best player. I don't know enough. I had it. Yeah.
We don't watch a lot of Vandy basketball around here.
No, we do not. So what I'm going to say right now is, if this is me at 4, and again, I'm going off what I would do. You got LaMelo. You got a solid, I feel like, small forward in Brandon Miller. I'm going Trey Johnson from Texas. I think he can score the ball from the 2.
You love Trey Johnson.
I do.
You love Trey Johnson.
I do, but I'm telling you,
I can't blame you.
He's not my favorite pick in the top 10, though.
Intriguing.
Yes.
Stay tuned, folks.
So.
Okay, so who we got next? We got Utah next. See, they don't have any guards really. They've got Lowry and a couple other younger big guys that I can't think of their name right now, but I don't think they have any young guards. So I think I'm going to go with Joliet's own Jeremiah Fears.
And there he is, my favorite player in the top 10. Not just because he's a neighboring kid, a local guy. I just think he really exploded on the scene. He really shot up the boards. He's bigger than you think.
Yes,
he's athletic. Yes. Like, I just like him there. I think he's worthy of a top 5 pick.
He could pair well with Lowry there too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about him, or like the stuff that I've read, is just how mature and how composed and how much of a leader he is at such a young age. So I'm a fan.
I am too. I am too.
Number 6 with the Washington Wizards.
This is tough. Okay.
I'm going to scroll down too. You want me to scroll down here? Or search by position?
No. I think you're good. I think I'm just going to take Edgecombe off the board right here. I think he's too well-rounded of a player to still be there after 6. So I'm going to take him there. I think they could use a little backcourt creator. So.
Oh wait, what did I do here?
You got it.
I got it. Okay, I got it. It just automatically switched to the Pelicans' next pick, and it threw me off. So the Pelicans, what are they going to do with Zion this year? Will that won't affect anything, right? Because he's really their only. Oh, because they have
another Duke guy.
Who's the other guy that they have?
Right. Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram, that's who it is. Thank you. So this, again, in the draft, this is where things get, I feel like you just kind of take a dart and throw it at the board, and, it's going to come down to team needs a lot, and I don't necessarily know what a lot of these teams need. But I'm going to go with this point guard. I don't know a lot about him. This Nolan Traore, perhaps is how you say it?
Perhaps it is.
I don't know. He's from France, though. That's who I'm going to go with. Point guard. Nolan Traore.
Nolan Traore, you say? Okay.
I guess so. These international guys, I don't know a whole lot about, but I just feel like a guard, again, fits their situation better than a big.
All right. This guy's kind of slid a little bit. He might be a top 5 pick. He might be a later lottery pick. This Common Malik from Duke. I don't know also if I'm pronouncing that well. I just feel like you have D'Angelo Russell, you have Cam. You got a solidified backcourt. You need some rim protector.
Yeah. Well, and he's only 18, but they project that he might have one of the highest ceilings in terms of, obviously for defensive potential, just being. His wingspan's like 7'7" or something like that. I was reading. So yeah, I agree with that pick for a big. So the Raptors, we've got Scotty Barnes. We've got who's that? The Jakob Pertl or whatever as a big. But I think they're gonna go. If I were them in this situation, I'm going to go with this guy from Illinois who, again, I don't know how to say his name. I'm not even going to embarrass myself. But I'm going to go with him just because I think he'd be a nice complementary piece for Scotty Barnes and kind of fill out that backcourt a little bit.
All right. Now I'm going to tell you right now, Trevin, I'm torn. So I feel like we've underestimated Con Newpel from Duke, but I also don't know if he fits in the system with the Rockets. You took Reed Shepherd last year. I think they're kind of a similar type player.
Yeah.
I'm going with Murray Boyles here.
Oh, okay. All right. I only say it that way because that's kind of who I have my eye on for the Bulls.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah,
now let's get it. Let's get one more. We got it. We're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I jumped the gun a little bit, but I do kind of like his fit perhaps as a potential Bull.
I do too. I do too, especially, and we'll talk more, but it depends. Like, are we? It depends. What are we doing with Giddey? Are we bringing him back? Are we?
Ooh, see, that's a tricky thing. You know
what are we doing, Vooch? What are we?
Yeah. That's for a whole nother episode. But just a quick point. I did read something that they're either gonna keep Kobe or they're gonna keep Giddey. So we'll see.
I don't like that at all.
Me neither. But I know which one I would keep.
Enlighten me.
It's the same one you would keep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the Blazers. Help me out. Who do the Blazers have? They went young, they went. They had like a top 3 pick last year, right? Who
and
was
they
it?
Still, what's that guy's name? I always wanted him in a Bulls uniform.
Yes, they got Anthony Simmons,
Scoot Henderson,
Aiden
Sharp. They got that Donovan Clingan. They got a nice young roster.
They do have a nice young roster, yeah. Oh boy, DeAndre Ayton's still around too, huh? All right, really, they look like just based on the roster that I'm looking at. And then, different one. I'm going to go. They need a shooter. I'm going to go with LeBaron.
John Voight's LeBaron?
It's his teeth marks. Yep. We're going with LeBaron. This our screen here is getting a little jumbled up.
Yeah, it's getting a little jumbled up, but okay, this one, and I know we can both obviously give a lot of input here. I think we've kind of both maybe worked this draft board to our favor, but I've always loved Derek Queen here for the Bulls.
Was that intentional? Did we do that intentional?
No, because I think we gave enough feedback on each of these guys to say why they were. I did hear at the combine, he didn't give great athletic numbers.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's what I read too. He had like the slowest 40 time in like the last 5 years or something.
And like not a great vertical, and it was not off the but you know what? That's not everything.
No.
And
he's a dog.
I do think sooner rather than later we're trading Vooch.
Yeah.
I'm all in on a youth movement. Give me something.
Yeah.
I can't be around in the 8-9 spot anymore.
Yeah. No, I agree. I either want to be a top 6 team or I would like to be a bottom 6 team.
Yep.
In the whole league, not just in the conference.
And I'm just going to say if Queen's not available, who I also like, which I think would be available, is this Asa Newell from Georgia.
I like him a lot too. That's who I was going to say. Actually, if the board fell like this in general, I think that'd be a good thing for the Bulls, because I agree they have to go big. I've seen some reports about that the point guard Demon from BYU is a possibility. I don't care how good of a player he is. I can't do that again, no. And I don't want another. I like Dalen Terry. I like Julian Phillips, but like we need a big. Yep. We need a young big. And so I would agree with any of them. We're definitely going to put Derek Queen there, but Again, if it fell that way, I would take Newell from Georgia. I'd take that Noah S. whatever from Germany.
And there's nothing against. Again, I go back to Newpel. There's nothing against him. I just feel like he's a Doug McDermott. I think he's a more athletic Doug McDermott.
Yeah,
he can score the ball, he can shoot the ball, he can spread the court. But it's like we need a big
boy. The Doug McDermott ruined the Bulls fans for white shooters.
Yep, he did.
And anybody who's white and can shoot automatically gets compared to Doug McDermott.
He does.
And I want nothing to do with it.
We want nothing to do with that.
So, with that being said, I'm going to put him in at 13.
You have to. Oh, I think the Atlanta Hawks would be.
Oh, they'd be doing backflips. Probably. Oh, actually, I'm just noticing this now that it tells you team needs.
Oh, God, I didn't notice that. And here is, again, I think if the board fell to them in this way, they would love either of these two. Sorbert, I think, from what I've heard, is more of an athletic rim protector type guy.
Yeah.
Which maybe allows Wemby a little more.
Kind of get him in his own space a little bit more.
Yeah, put Sorbert in there for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would, out of all the teams in this lottery, the team that I think so. The team that I would want to be the most is the Spurs.
Yeah. Oh, man. Spurs. Geez.
Holy smokes, dude. They've got Wemby and Castle already. And you have, and Fox, and you have two more lottery picks this year.
And you have Devin Vassell. Like, you're
man, that is a team I would like to have that roster.
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay, so OKC. I mean, speaking of teams I'd love to be.
God.
Man, oh man. They can afford to do anything here.
Yeah, take a shot.
I mean, I'm going to go with the point guard from BYU, Demon.
Demon, yeah.
Is it pronounced Demon?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I like that, though. We'll go with the Demon. Igor Demon.
This is another situation where I feel if Asa Newell's available at 16, they're doing backflips. And I think you got to put him in.
So we got Newell there at 16 to the Magic. And next we have the Timberwolves at 17. Do we go with I think here's where I'm going to take off my UConn guy off the board. Liam McNeely.
Okay.
Kind of a playmaking shooter that
I'm with you here. I'm gonna jump a little bit around the board, nothing crazy, but
down here for you.
I'm going Cam Jones out of Marquette here. I think he's a heady, head smart, strong defensive guard. I think he just is a solid pick there for you at 18.
And I think that man, if you're Washington and you pair VJ Edgecombe with Cam Jones, you got a good young backcourt all of a sudden. All right, so next we have the Nets.
The old Brooklyn Nets.
I would hate to be a Nets fan.
Yeah, they're in far worse shape than we are.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm just gonna go with Noah here. Essengiu. That's how I'll pronounce it.
Oh yeah, he's solid.
So the Heat at number 20 needs wing playmaking, upside shooting, point guard, guard defense. What are we thinking here, John?
I'm going with. Can you scroll down a little bit for me here.
Absolutely can. You betcha.
Here's a guy I like that might, had I been, there's a couple of guys here that I like that I wish the Bulls had
like a
top 5 pick and then a later first round pick because there's some depth here that I think they have.
Yeah.
I really like Neat Clifford from Colorado State.
Yeah, that's a good pick there. I like him too.
I don't know if he's a fifth-year senior. He's a little bit older, 22, 23, and it's like for where the Bulls are at, you can't wait around, he's at. But like for where the Heat are at, man, I think he gives you some scoring off the bench. I think he brings a lot.
Yeah. I was actually reading something that mocked him to the Bulls. And
I hate that. I hate that at 12.
Well, and I know, and that's what his reasoning was kind of like the opposite of your reasoning. Like, oh, well, he's 23, you can plug him in and they can still be competitive. Like that's not what we want here.
No, I don't think we're a competitive team next year.
Mm-mm.
I think they trade Vooch this summer. I think I don't know. From what I'm reading, I think they're going to sign Giddey and trade Kobe, which I hate.
Yeah, they should keep Kobe and just let Giddey walk. I'm actually hoping that the Nets offer him like $40 million.
Yeah,
and the Bulls just have no choice.
It's nothing against him. I just like the idea of having Kobe White and Modest as your core, and really anybody else is expendable to me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And then if if that's the case, then I'm more open to them drafting the Demon at 12, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. This is all dependent on where we're at today, June 5th.
Yes, right.
Yeah, like you do that and you free up some backcourt space, and I'm like, all right, wait a minute now.
Yeah, now all of a sudden that's a little more interesting.
I'll tell you what, we I don't know, man. We trade him, and I would no way we get him, but I would love Jeremiah Fears. I don't know how we pull it off, but that'd be wild.
Would it be done? What would that take, I wonder? Because you'd have to get into the top 6 or 7.
Probably top 5 even.
Yeah. That was another thing is like if you were the Spurs at number 2, I'd be trying to trade back.
Yeah.
Just get more, get like, the 8th pick, and then you still have the 14th or whatever and get another first round pick for next year or something.
Or some borderline stud that somebody's not gonna be able to keep and say, I don't know who that would be, but like
yeah, they're definitely in a position where they could trade back and benefit from it. All right, so Jazz again. I'm building this whole Jazz roster here for them. Boy, oh boy. I am going to go with Carter Bryant.
Oh, he's another guy I like.
The reason why I'm a little hesitant on him, I just feel like it's Dalen Terry all over again. And I like Dalen Terry.
I do too.
And it has nothing to do with, I haven't like watched their tapes and been like, oh, that's his game reminds me of Dalen Terry. It's just a young, long, small forward / power forward guy who didn't see a whole lot of time, but is kind of gone up the draft board during the, pre-draft workouts and stuff. But I do like him, but that's my only hesitation on it. And again, it's not based on his play or his game or anything, just a wildcat, a small forward wildcat, I guess.
I get you, but I liked him. There's a couple guys on here when I'm reading mocks that are already gone that we have sitting here in Jace Richardson and Will Riley. But it's just like Jace Richardson, I just feel he's not his dad. He's not as athletic as his dad. He's not as big. Yeah. But he is athletic point guard. I'm reading the team needs here, but I'm putting him on the Hawks. I think they have Trey Young, who's kind of the opposite of Jace Richardson, which I think would be a nice change of pace coming off the bench. So
I really like Jace Richardson too, in terms of, I don't think he should be like a top 15 pick, but he's going to be somebody to me that reminds me of like a Mike Conley or somebody like that just knows their role as the point guard and just all around does everything the right way. So,
all right, yeah, yep,
the Pacers, the NBA Finals bound Pacers.
Oh my God!
Holy smokes!
From our own division, just brutal.
Oh, man, just down the road from us. And that's who, oh man, I'll never get over that draft.
No, don't even talk about it.
I won't mention it. Ah, boy. There's a couple of European guys here that I don't know a whole lot about. I'm going to go with Will Wright. No, Darian Williams.
Okay.
Switching to Darian Williams.
All right, so now we got to the Thunder, the team I think is going to win this NBA Finals in 5 games. And I'll tell you what, if this guy falls to them, I think it'd be a perfect position for both of them. Walter Clayton. I don't even know where he's at on here. I just like him. I think he's a winner. I think he's go under point guard maybe and see if you can find him under there.
That's what I love about you. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Drafting Walter Clayton. You do the same thing in fantasy football drafts.
You just got to look for the. And I don't even think he's a diamond in the rough. I think it's just if you have him, running your second team, like, whoa.
Yeah, that would be, again, when you're a team like OKC, you just,
you can take shots.
Yeah, exactly. You're spoiled. All right, back to the Magic here. Here is where I'm going to, back to all of them. Here is where I'm going to go with Will Riley.
Okay.
That's where I want to go with Will Riley. Holy smokes. I forgot the Nets have 4 picks in the top 27.
And but they're not great. None of them, they're not, it's like, what do you.
Right. Yeah, their first one is until 8. So,
yeah, I mean, it's better than 12, but.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm going, from what I've read about this guy, he has a lot of upside. I'm going Yaxel Lendenberg.
Yes. Yaxel.
He seems like he could be like a nice find in the end of the first round there.
Oh boy, so back-to-back picks for the Nets. We're going to go back-to-back bigs here. And I'm going with another UConn guy.
Oh, okay.
Caravan. Give me Alex Caravan. And not that he's necessarily a big, but he can stretch out to a power forward.
I get you. Here you got a team that's, you lost Tatum for next year. You're going to need some scoring. Although I think best fit would be Ben Seraph. I'm going Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph's. I think he can score the ball.
Rasheer Fleming. All right. He's a big scorer, huh?
Oh, from all the St. Joe's games I've watched, he can put the ball in the hoop.
I love it. All right, down to our last 2 picks here, the first round. John Mobley Jr., is that related to Evan Mobley?
I don't know.
Here's another name that I see a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like a lottery a lot of times.
I know, like not a lot, but yeah, I've seen him to the Bulls and I've seen him up there. So I'm going to go with Drake Powell. Small forward, North Carolina.
And here I'm ending the first round. I'm going to go Ben Seraph. I think from what I've read, he's a playmaker. I like Johnny Broom. Alex Condon. I thought he went back. Danny Wolf's another player I like a lot. But I'm going Ben Seraph there.
Okay.
I know we're doing first round. Can I ask you, and take your time here?
Okay.
We'll just talk Bulls for a minute. Now that we've done this, I'd like to save this and compare it to the actual draft.
Oh, yeah.
Should
I write this down, I guess?
Oh, we can listen to the audio and go back, I guess.
There you go. Yeah.
Give me Bulls at 12, your dream scenario, your most likely scenario, and your worst case scenario.
Ooh, okay. I like this.
In any order. It doesn't have to be dream. You can say your worst. You can say your most likely.
All right. So here, I'm going to hit restart on this so I can take a look.
Okay. Yeah. We have that saved, so you can.
Yes, that's up and. Let's see. I got to do all of them. Okay. So dream scenario. I'm going to go dream scenario. Well, I mean, yeah, Jeremiah Fears. If he drops or if we trade up, but I'm realistically though, I mean, so that's my dream.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what it was. That was the question.
Jeremiah Fears either dropping, which I don't think will happen, or we find a way to magically trade up. And
if we do, that means we're clearing some backcourt room. We're trading. We're trading Kobe. Yep.
Most likely, I think. I think most likely I'm going to go with the guy from Germany, Noah Essengu. For some reason,
okay.
For some reason, I would be good with that because I think a pairing of him and Modis, a couple of 6'10" playmakers could be very intriguing. Plus his defensive, so that's where I'm going to say most likely. And obviously by most likely, I'm talking like 10-1 odds or something,
Yeah, like exactly. I'm
not seeing anything. Worst case scenario is that we end up with Jace Richardson.
Oh God, yeah, that would be a nightmare.
That would be
the kid.
What's that?
Nothing against him personally.
No, I'm gonna root for him. I do like him, and I was always a big fan of his dad. But I just think for where we are right now, that's not. If you're gonna go for a point guard, it better be for that guy from BYU, a big playmaker type.
Okay, here we go. Now again, dream means you're asleep. This
is a fantasy, John.
This is a fantasy. We trade Kobe White and we trade Vooch to the Sixers and we get Ace Bailey.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Well, actually, let's trade that. We trade Giddey and Vooch. We sign and trade Giddey and we keep Kobe and we have Ace Bailey and Kobe in the back. That would be a dream. Not going to happen, but that was the question. Most likely, I do think it's Derek Queen. I do think Derek Queen, because of how poorly he performed at the combine, fall.
Yeah, he's going to drop.
It was a huge fall. I don't think he was probably going higher than 8 or 9 to begin with.
Right.
So we're not talking about some like Aaron Rodgers-esque fall out of it. And then worst case scenario.
Like nightmare situation here.
is that we get the big guy from Duke. I just feel like we've had that too much, like where it's and again, nothing against this guy. It just all I hear about is like he's raw, he's athletic, he's like. Ugh.
I've heard enough of that. I don't want that anymore.
And he could be the best pick. Who knows? But I'm just saying, for me right now, I just can't have that.
That's why, like, I would be excited if Colin Murray Boyles fell to the Bulls because he's like the opposite of that from what I've seen and read. He's just a big, strong. What is he like?
6'10",
but he has like a 7'3" wingspan, or like he's a long defender, and he's just he's not one of those skinny bodies that you're going to have to wait to fill out and see in 2 or 3 years. He seems like somebody who could. I'm not saying he's going to come in and score a lot, but he's going to impact the game.
And the only other thing I'm going to add in under most likely, I'm going to put most likely Derek Queen, most likely as A, most likely B, and I'd also be fine with it. I feel like they like Asa Newell. I feel like he would be a good fit. Yeah. I'd be fine with that too.
I think the thing that I think we'll have some options. I would like to believe that we'll come away from draft night feeling positive about who we ended up with, because it is a deep draft and there's a lot of bigs. There's a lot of good bigs, and that bodes well for us because that's what we need.
So let's just walk away before we end off here. We'd really like Derek Queen. We'd be good with Colin Murray Boyles.
Yes.
We'd be good with Sorbert. We'd be good with Newell. If we got one of those four.
Yeah. I would be ecstatic if one of those guys ended up in a Bulls uniform.
Well, Trevin, what do you say we do? We're not going to give you guys. We gave you guys a plate full today.
Oh boy, you're gonna have some belly aches after this one.
Yeah, let's just give them a little palate cleanser maybe after the draft, where we just kind of break down the pick.
Yes.
And we just do a quick little 10-minute episode.
Yes, here's our thoughts on it. Here's how it might impact the roster. I like it.
You like that?
Yep.
Well, I think this is a good episode.
Me too. I'm glad that we got to do
I'm glad we did too.
Yeah, this was fun because it also, especially like going past 12, we don't know
what we're doing after that.
I don't look a lot past that on these mock drafts and reading that kind of stuff. So
we threw a lot of names at people, but we ended with 4 we really like. We gave you our best and worst, and we gave you what we thought we would do. So you don't like it, fuck off.
Yep, take it or leave it. I don't really give a shit.
So, well, Trevin, this has been fun. We'll recap after the pick. And as always, that's so